Hello. You know, my needs and desires are always met in the most perfect way at the most perfect time. My name's Yvonne Teoh Bource from Connect the Soul, and I'm here to inspire and empower you to live your very best life. So that sounded pretty good. How many times do you read or hear inspirational phrases like that? And how often do you think, first of all, gee, that sounds good, and how often do you feel uplifted by them? Well, that phrase, for me, happens to be true. All my needs and desires are always met in the most perfect way at the most perfect time. I know that, I believe that, and I see that in my life. Now, what I've learned over the years, though, is that all these so-called affirmations, and affirmations are not necessarily positive. Everything that you say, everything that you think is affirming your experience. So, all these phrases that we constantly look for to repeat over and over and over again only become an experience in your life if you get them to that point of, yeah, I know, conviction, faith, belief. So how do you do that? Well, you can repeat them 1,000 times, but if there is a little message in the back of your mind going, yeah, right, that one has more power than 100 affirmations or inspirational phrases that you read or that you write. If you cannot convince your mind that it is true, now that's the secret, you see. I have many secrets. But this secret, I think, we've heard before many, many times. So I'm going to say it again, because I know for a fact that often, you have to hear it about 1,000 times, and then the 1,001st time it goes click, and you go, oh, of course. So I'm going to have another go at it. So your mind really doesn't reason. You think it does. Your brain, you do a lot of reasoning, but the mind just says yes to whatever instruction you give it. So I'm very determined about giving the instructions to my mind and then to the universe, which is aligned with that which I want to turn up in my life. So I'm incredibly careful about listening to how I speak and how I think from a moment to moment, because there's a little plane going by, isn't that nice? So that, I think, is number one rule. How aware are you about your dialogue, your self-dialogue? How aware are you about the instructions you give your mind every day? How aware are you about the instructions you give the universe every day? Because your mind says yes, the universe says yes to anything that you say. I feel so sick. Your mind says, feel sick. Okay. But if you say, I'm strong and healthy, people are constantly asking me, how come I'm so strong, I'm so healthy, I'm so vibrantly alive, I still work, when actually, at the end of this year, I will be celebrating the 80th year of my birth. Well, you know why that is? Because my mind doesn't believe that in the first place. And my mind is told every day that I'm vibrantly alive, that my body is healthy and strong, and I love life, and I want to live it to the full. They're the instructions I give every day. I have never, ever thought about getting older means that I have to age, that I have to become less than what I was yesterday. My whole life is focused on becoming more every day, not less every day. You see, our conditioning is that as you get older, you're supposed to be less. Well, I don't believe it. And because I don't believe it, my body doesn't express it. the mind will do your bidding. So what do you tell your mind every day? And are you aware what you're telling your mind every day? Do you say in the morning, oh God, not another day, not another day, I want to go back to sleep? Well, that energy isn't really one of, oh wow, here's another day, a whole day, hopefully, that I am free to choose whatever I want to choose. Because we are free to choose. We can leap out of bed and go, I'm going to make this a fabulous day because it's the first day of the rest of my life and it's all mine. Well, if your mind actually believes that and hears that and trusts that and is convinced by that, that is exactly what it will deliver. You will then create an energetic vibrational frequency which will only bring you to those experiences. So for me, one of the things that I have been teaching now for over 30 years is to become consciously aware of your thoughts and of your inner dialogue. We say so many things without taking responsibility for it. We are totally unaware of the energy we radiate. You know, yesterday I went out to lunch with a very dear old friend of mine, and the lunch was rather long in coming, but I actually didn't notice it. But my friend, she got really narky because the people at the next table who came after us got their meal before us. But I was so busy, you know, relating stuff to her and in dialogue with her, that I hadn't really noticed that lunch wasn't there yet. But she became more and more irritated, and I could feel this energy. It was becoming quite heavy around me, and it's not where I live. So I get up and I walk to the counter and I said to the girl, is our lunch coming? And as I said it, the girl had the plates in her hand, and so all was well. It is just that we allow our mind to just run amok, and we don't realize that even that little bit where we get attached to, oh, lunch isn't here, no, people are getting served before me, the energy instantly takes us to a lower vibration. Now, this same friend, her health is not good, but when I listen to the way that she talks and the way that which is just like everybody else really, she just hasn't taken a grip and grabbed it and said, no, I'm not going to talk like that anymore. So it's very important for you to listen and go, what conditioned language do I still use that I'm not taking responsibility for, that I'm not listening to and really becoming aware of the energy vibration of, and really pay attention. So the next time that you decide to write some inspirational phrases or read inspirational phrases, look at them really seriously and consider how much of what I'm reading, which feels good, how much of what I'm writing, which feels good, how much of what I'm saying feels good, do I believe? How much of that am I convinced that because I'm giving that instruction, my mind will respond? Or am I still saying them from hoping and wishing? Because if you're coming from hoping and wishing, then there is fear and doubt behind it. Fear that it won't happen, doubt that it hasn't happened so far, so why would it happen now? Those things are underlying. So really engage with it and have a good look at what are you putting out there. You know, there are so many of these exercises, but I'm going to just remind you of them. The mind instantly responds. For instance, I would like you right now, this moment, to just think for a moment that you are about to eat your favorite meal. Just bring it to mind. Just bring some beautiful food, right? It's succulent and you can smell the aroma and you feel you're absolutely going to have this absolutely beautiful, beautiful meal. Well, I don't know what's happening to you while I'm talking to you about that, but I'm salivating. My body is creating saliva because it doesn't really care or know that there is no food. It just, I'm talking about it, and it responds to me straight away. I know, some people say, try and eat a lemon. Well, if I do that, when I just even say lemon, what happens to my mouth? It dries up because I don't like lemons. I don't like sour things. So the minute I talk about a lemon, everything in my mouth goes, oh, okay. And so that's wonderful. You know what's wonderful about that? I get really excited, as you can tell. But you know what's really wonderful about that? It shows you how powerful we are and how powerful our mind is. It responds instantly. So if you say, I really feel sick, it goes, okay, she's sick. These crazy beliefs that you have, that in the winter you've got to be worried about getting a cold. I don't get it. Why would you be worried about getting a cold? If you're cold, put something on, put a heater on or a blanket or whatever. Keep yourself warm and look after your body. But we have a conditioned belief system, and if you adhere to that, then you will get the sniffles. You will get all of these things. I want you to examine, what do you really believe? And what is your mind? What do you tell your mind on a daily basis? Do you tell your mind that life is magnificent? It is full of gifts? Do you wake up being grateful and feeling blessed for everything you have? Because there are a lot of people who don't have anything like what we have. And therefore, no matter if, we are so abundant. And the more abundant you feel, the more abundant you will become. So really, I just wanted to share with you that if you really believe in this phrase, that all your needs and desires are always met in the most perfect way at the most perfect time, how would you feel? For me, I just go, I know that. That's all I hear. I know that. And sometimes I forget it. Sometimes it's not coming when I actually wanted it. And if I fall into that trap, I know that I'm actually pushing it further away. So I just have to make sure that I don't do that. So what that means is you have to be consciously aware in your life. Spend as little time as possible drifting off into nowhere. Stay present. Be in charge of your present and be in charge of your next moment that way. So that's my message for today. I'd love you to make some comments about it. Comment in the underneath the description box, and I will answer you, of course. I just love hearing about people who suddenly create amazing things. One of my students the other day, she told me that she just lost her job, and I said, fantastic. Of course, she laughs at me because she knows I'm a bit of a strange lady. And then she said, yeah, well, and so something else happened that wasn't great. And I went, oh, that's even better. Because when things leave you, that means that it's getting ready for something new and something exciting. And it was only the next day that she rang me and she said, guess what? I just had a job interview and I was offered exactly what I wanted, and it's exactly what I need right now. And it happened like that. These are the things that are always occurring when when you have conviction, when you have faith in that, when you give the right instruction without fear or doubt, and you trust that it will turn up. It will turn up. And it's usually, almost always better than you could ever have imagined. So then you say, well, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen, and I am embracing it already. So remember, just tick the subscription box to stay tuned into this channel and the bell beside it, and leave me a comment. And In the description box, you'll find links to all sorts of wonderful things that'll help you to continue to feel inspired, empowered, and live your very best life. Have a fantastic day, because I will, because that is my instruction to my mind, to this universe, to me. Namaste.